I was a figure skater growing up, and I had a bad injury when I was about 13 years old, and my mother didn't want a lazy kid sitting around the house. And so she dragged me kicking and screaming to audition for a local community theater play, and I got the role. And I enjoyed it, it was fun. But yeah, I didn't know what I was doing at all. And then she dragged me to meet with a modeling agency in Pittsburgh to possibly do like commercials and stuff like that. And through that relationship, I met my manager, who's still my manager to this day, 27 years later. And so he was kind of like the driving force of getting me to take it seriously. I mean, I just kind of was just being kind of dragged around, and like I love to perform. I mean, I grew up performing. I really enjoyed performing, but I just didn't think a little girl from Pittsburgh would ever be able to go to Hollywood and be an actress. Like, I just didn't think that was possible. I thought you had to be born into it or something. And you know, I come from a family of doctors. It's not really their first choice. My daughter's an actress. You know, it's not really like they can't wrap their head around it either. So, but I went to NYU and studied, and then out to LA, and so that's kind of how it happened.
The camera right there.
I just wanted to ask you, what future projects are you planning on doing?
Well, Defiance right now is taking up all my time.
That's
Yes, and then I did do a little indie film called Supremacy. I have a tiny, tiny part in it, but it's a really amazing movie. It's based on a true story that took place in the late 80s, early 90s about a family that was taken hostage by some white supremacists. And it's with Danny Glover and Layla Rashawn, and it's an amazingly, it's a heavy movie. But I was just happy to be a very tiny part in something that I really enjoyed.
Okay, back to this side of the room. Right there, yellow shirt.
Have you heard any rumors about you being cast as Wasp in the Avengers 2?
No, I haven't, but I like that rumor. Can we start that rumor here? Everybody, get your phones out. Start tweeting.
Everyone tweeted the same
Joss tweeted. I don't even know who Wasp is. What?
Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does she do? Does she fly? Does she sting people?
She's married to Ant-Man, who becomes Giant Man.
Oh, okay. Please, let's...
She can shrink down and fly around like a wasp.
Okay.
I could do that.
Yeah.
See the power of Twitter. Come on. I know Joss is on there, right? I would love that.
Action hero.
I would love, I mean, anything action I would love to do. I don't want to do a romantic comedy anymore.
More from the floor, right there, glasses.
So you were the first vampire to ever appear on Buffy.
Yeah.
And I want to know if you ever thought that what you were being a part of, and that you were setting the standard of what the show was supposed to be, is that like the surprise twist of the schoolgirl being the threat, and that like how you approached that. I don't know.
Well, I was vampire girl number 1. I don't know what happened to number 2. I was vampire girl number 1. And when we shot, it was a pilot presentation, and I had met Joss because I was one of like 1,000 girls that auditioned to play Buffy, and he liked the choices that I made, even though I wasn't right for the role. He thought I made some interesting creative choices. And then he called and said, "How would you feel about playing vampire girl number 1?" And I was like, "Oh, not doing anything this week, so." I didn't really have much of a career, so I was like, okay. I really enjoyed, and what I most enjoyed was working with Joss. I mean, Joss just has this kind of exuberance about him, and he gets you so excited, and he's like, oh, we're going to have you do this, and when you're, you know, in one of the episodes where I'm walking down, I'm skipping around all the other vampires, like the master and all the evil, and he has me skipping in my little schoolgirl outfit. That was total Joss. Joss was like, "How do you feel about skipping?" And I was like, "Oh, I love it." And he's like, "And do a twirl or two." And I was like, "Okay." He just gets you excited, and I don't think I knew at the time, because I mean, I was new to LA. I didn't really understand the television process, so I didn't really know exactly what it was we were doing. I just knew in the moment I was having fun, and then Vampire Girl #1 turned into Darla, which I was very thankful for. And then I was supposed to die in each episode, and every time they'd go to kill me, him and David Greenwald would come running and be like, "We're not going to kill you this week." Or, "We're going to kill you next week." So I was like, "Oh, cool, I get to work in another episode. Like, this is fun." So yeah, it was definitely a very cool experience to be a part of.